and what does it mean to the draft order and the NFC West standings? Also, with Patrick Mahomes in town, the Saints would have to be at the top of their game. Could Drew Brees bounce back from his worst start ever to lead a fantastic finish? Let's find out right now. Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to Game Day Final, presented by our good friends at Mercedes-Benz. I am Chris Rose. Here it is, Week 15. 6 teams could either clinch a playoff berth or a division crown, and only one of those things happened on Sunday. We'll tell you which one it was, but let's start with a pair of teams that already punched their ticket to the postseason dance in January. Saints trying to clinch the NFC South with a win over the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. That means Patrick Mahomes is in town, and you saw number 9 Drew Brees back after missing 4 games with 11 broken ribs and a bruised lung as well. That just sounds horrible. First drive for the Saints, just no good at all. Brees almost picked off, and then later on, he was picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. Started 0 for 6. Worst start for him in a game in his career. Uh-oh. Here's that guy again. Patrick Mahomes coming off of a 3-interception performance in the win at Miami last week. They have so much motion. They have so many weapons. There's Tyreek Hill, 15th touchdown catch of the year, ties Dwayne Bowe for the single-season record. Then in the second, watch this. Mahomes is like, oh, I just took it out of the oven. It's smoking hot. He throws it to Travis Kelce. More on that historic toss in just a second. But it's his 10th TD grab and a 14-0 lead. So now the Saints trying to get it done. No Michael Thomas placed on IR with that bad ankle, but Emmanuel Sanders is just fine, thanks. According to Next Gen Stats, 50.8 yards in the air. It's Brees' longest toss in the last 3 seasons. And 2 plays later, Taysom Hill, he's like, I don't get to play quarterback anymore. Oh, I do, and I'm going to run it in. 6th rushing touchdown of the season for him, and the Saints are down 14-7. Later on in the first half, like waning seconds, DeMarcus Robinson, just hang on to the rock. We got a loose ball. Saints, go fall on it. Go fall. Steve. Oh, that little sucker slippery. Alex Anzalone got his hands on it. He just couldn't cradle it. They get 2 points for the safety, but Drew Brees was like, yeah, yo. Down 14-9 at the break. Third quarter, same score. Brees looking for Jared Cook and Tyrann Mathieu, who has a career-high 6 picks, almost got 7, grew up in New Orleans, had his first career interception in that building, can't get his paws on it. Why is that so big? Because 2 plays later, Brees. Latavius Murray's blocking. Brees says, get open! There's guys coming! Murray does, and he dances his way in. Failed 2-point try, but the Saints have their first lead of the game. Unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes got the ball back, and I got to be honest, I thought he was throwing this one away. So did Jim Nance. So I'm in good company. Hello, friends. Mecole Hardman somehow dragged 1 and 2 and kicked the dirt as well. Chiefs reclaim the lead 21-15. Fourth quarter, Cameron Jordan and Andrew Wiley get into it, and Cam Jordan, who's one of the great guys in the NFL, throws a punch, the refs say, and so 94 is done. This is a team that was getting pressure on Mahomes with their front 4, but they're missing one of their studs. So then Mahomes is like, here, you take it, to Le'Veon Bell, who works his way in for the 12-yard score. 2-point try is good. Chiefs are up 2 touchdowns. Mahomes, it looks like he's playing in the backyard. Now, if you have a field looking like that in the backyard, invite me over for New Year's. We'll party it up. Next Chiefs possession. Oh, Mahomes gets sandwiched. Trey Hendrickson, who's had a huge year, one of 4 sacks on the day. Mahomes loses the rock. The Saints recover the ball. Mahomes says that was a bummer. Saints coming back. Brees to Alvin Kamara. He gets in from 14 yards out, had almost 100 scrimmage yards, and the Saints are back within a score. Ensuing Chiefs possession inside the Saints 10, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who grew up in Baton Rouge, injures his hip and leg. The first rounder had to be helped from the field. X-rays negative. More tests on Monday. Here come the Saints, though, after a field goal by the Chiefs. That's little Jordan Humphrey, not to be confused with big Jordan Humphrey. And the Saints are within 3. But now the Chiefs, with under 2 to go. Le'Veon Bell on 2nd and 5. Look at the patience. That was his trademark in Pittsburgh. Demario Davis can't get him down. Drew Brees and the Saints have now lost back-to-back games after a 9-game winning streak. Chiefs 13-1 and still the number 1 seed in the AFC. Time now for our next-gen stats powered by AWS. We showed you the touchdown pass like, get out there to Kelsey. Half of second. Fastest completion of the season in the NFL. A half second. Look at that. Unbelievable. The Chiefs, they're so creative, and they are so good. All right. Week 16 kicks off on Christmas Day, Friday. Vikings and Saints here on NFL Network, Fox, and Amazon Prime Video. Kickoff at 3:30 Eastern. Pregame here on the network at 2:30 Eastern. Tom Brady in Atlanta. He loves seeing Falcon on the menu. 6-0 against him, including that 28-3 come from behind Super Bowl 51 win. And you want me? Matt Ryan's like, shut up, fat boy. Just do the highlights. We came out smoking. No Julio Jones with a bad hammy. Ryan hits Russell Gage. He went 6 of 6 for 71 yards on the opening drive. Then Ryan to Calvin Ridley on his 26th birthday, who joined Isaac Bruce and Tom Fears, guys with 10 catches and a touchdown on their birthday. And the Falcons were up 17-zip at the break, in part because their defense was balling and giving Brady all sorts of headaches. 60 yards in the first half, a sack by Deion Jones. Then Sherrod Niesman gets in there. And then Brady, when he had receivers open, overlaunches Chris Godwin. So down 17. Oh, come on, Tommy. Tommy, we got a half still to go. And it's the Falcons. They're going to let you back in this thing. It's still a 17-point deficit. Brady to Mike Evans, who had his first 100-yard game since week 4. Then 2 plays later, it's Brady to Chris Godwin, who gladly gave up his number for Brady, so Brady called his on this play. And they're within 10. After an Atlanta 3-and-out, Brady to... Anybody had a Gronk sighting lately? Me Gronk. Me catch football. Oh, that is nice. A pitch and catch of 17 yards over Aluakon, who had great defensive position, but that's a future Hall of Famer you're battling. Then later in the drive, remember, no Ronald Jones. He's on the COVID list. So Leonard Fournette, a healthy scratch last week, scratched his itch on Sunday. 49 yards and a pair of rushing touchdowns. Tampa down 3. They would add a field goal to make it 24-24. But now Atlanta driving in the 4th. 3rd and 6. Ryan pressured and sacked by Devin White, who has become a flat-out stud. Younghoe Koo connected from 52, so Atlanta's up 3. But the Bucs get the ball back. They're in Atlanta territory, and Matt Ryan's like, I've seen this. Oh, no. Antonio Brown on the business end. Brady threw for 320 in the second half, 46 there. For Brown, it's his first score since week 2 of 2019 when Tom Brady threw it to him, and they were both Patriots. So under 3 to go, does Matt Ryan have a comeback in him? In a word, not so much. Ryan pressured by Devin White, who had all 3 Buccaneers sacks, all 3 coming in the 4th quarter. Then on 4th and 16, Ryan gets it to Calvin Ridley, but he's short of the line to gain. Brady, 4th time in his career, he has erased at least a 17-point halftime deficit. Bucs, who haven't made the playoffs since 07, can clinch next Saturday afternoon right on NFL Network. Speaking of, it's going to be a busy day for football fans. The day after Christmas gets going with Brady and the Bucs in Motown right here exclusively on the network. Then the Amazon Prime game, 49ers and Cards. Nightcap, Dolphins, very much in the playoff hunt out in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders here on NFL Network. Okay, so if the playoffs started today, and don't worry, they didn't, so you didn't miss much, the team from the state of Washington would face the team from Washington just like they did on Sunday. And these franchises are polar opposites when it comes to quarterbacks. Since they drafted Russell Wilson in 2012, Wilson has taken 98% of the snaps for the Seahawks. In the same time, Washington started 9 quarterbacks, including 3 this year. Dwayne Haskins then turned it over to Kyle Allen this year, who turned it over to Alex Smith. They have had all sorts of issues. Now Smith is hurt, so Dwayne Haskins is back as the starter. He was so inept after the first month, he was inactive the next 5 games, and in some cases, he didn't even travel. But Washington still had the NFC East lead coming into this game. Seattle, with a win, would clinch a playoff berth. How would Haskins look with Alex Smith and that ailing calf? Rusty. He had the play sheet on his wrist. I don't know what play they dialed up, but I can't imagine this was on his wrist. The tip ball and then the Shaq Griffin INT. Haskins 15 for 24, 98 yards in that pick in the first 30 minutes. 10 plays later, Russell Wilson to Jacob Hollister for his Lone TD toss of the day. In fact, he threw for a season-low 121. Seahawks were up 13-zip. In the third, it's now 13-3. They're getting it done on the ground when a guy like Carlos Hyde is working it. On 2nd and 1, it's Seattle's longest run from scrimmage this season. They ran for 181 as a team. They're up 20-3. And you think against the Dwayne Haskins-led Washington Football Club, it's over. And by the way, kudos to Fox for busting out that new ground